Okay, I just had somebody ask me if I could show how to tell if the collar is fitting pretty well. I'm still learning too, so we can all learn together. And if anyone has any extra things to add or any more information, I would welcome that below in the comments. So this is the all-purpose synthetic collar from Broadhead. This is the one I like for the minis. I called him and talked to him and asked him just to make this rim a little bit smaller because it was a little bit too big. And then he doesn't put so much padding in back here, so it's softer and it molds to them better. And so I like that. This one also has the no choke option down here, so there's no padding down here, just to give them a little bit more space in that windpipe. So this is the lever. And when you get the collar in the box, this piece of leather here will be together. And that is to hold it together for shipping. So you'll have to cut that in order to open the collar. Something to keep in mind when you put these on is you don't open them very wide. You just open them wide enough to slide it onto the neck. You never pull it all the way open, because you can break it right down here. You can break this padding, and so we don't want that to happen. When you store it, if you hang it, you're going to hang it upside down with the part that goes against the horse out, away from the wall. This will hang next to the wall, this will hang away from the wall. If you store it in a box, you'll lay it in the box face down with the part that goes against the horse up. This protects this part and keeps it smooth and blemish free. So that's why we do it that way. So now I'll show how I put it on, and then kind of just from trial and error of trying different size collars, how I feel like this one fits him. So we'll go ahead, and I always let him look at everything before I so he feels engaged in the process. Okay, so I'm going to open it just wide enough to slide on his neck, like so, and then lay it across the top. And then I'll hook this lever and close it up. Alright, so when the collar is on, what you want to be able to do is put your fingers flat between the neck and the bottom of the collar. If you can fit a whole balled up fist like this, fingers up and down between there, it's too big. So see, I can't fit that in there. I can fit my hand flat. Hopefully you can see that. The other thing is, when you push the collar back on the shoulder, run your hand down and make sure there's no bumps or lumps in the collar, and that it's nice, solid, how do I say that? It's a nice, straight and even pressure that will be against the front of the shoulder there, and there's no gaps. Because if the collar's too big, it will bounce like this on their shoulders, and that would obviously not be comfortable. If the collar fits nice, it'll set back against those shoulders, and they can just lean into it all day and work. So you want it to be not super snug, but you want it to be a little bit snug when you run your fingers down in there. So maybe Logan can bring the camera in. So here's the rim, and then I'll slide my fingers in, and that's where I want it to be flush against the shoulders, in that second part inside the collar. So then can you go around and just show from the side too, so they can see the fit. So you want that to follow that line of shoulder right there. And just lay nice and flat up against there. Sometimes when they lose weight and lose hair in the summer, then you might need to get a smaller collar, because the collar will get too big. Some people have 2 or 3 different size collars for one horse, depending on how much they change from one season to the next. So I'll put the hames on. So for the minis, it's so much easier to do the adjusting of the hames from the top. All of the draft horse people that I've seen drive, and the big horse people, adjust the hames from the bottom. But clearly that would be hard for us. We'd have to lay underneath them to get under there. Okay. So you just make sure it's in the middle. Down there. and then you'll run the hame strap through. Pull that tight. So here's the ring turrets and then the tugs. And I haven't had, I used this all from January. I missed some of February because it was 20 below, and I don't work in 20 below, so I didn't drive in February, but I did drive in March, and we had snow through the end of March. And he wore this every drive using the sled, and hauling me and hauling the sled. I never saw it pull and pop forward or do, it just settled back on his shoulders and it just did its job. So I don't know very much about collars, but I've had him working in one that was too small, and I had him working in one that was too big, and I had him working in a set of hames that didn't lay in this but poked out. They poked up here. They didn't have a good curve. So I have seen the different ways that things just don't work very well or make it harder for him to do his job. He's a pretty good boy, and he just puts his head down and does his work, but his mother does not, and she objects mightily when things don't feel right. So I can go back and forth if I'm just not quite sure, because she wears the same size he does. So this is the 14-inch all-purpose collar from Broadhead, and these are the hames that I got from Broadhead too, so they're a little bit lighter with the loose ring turret. And I guess that's all for now. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and if you have any more information or any words of wisdom, please share them in the comments. If you have a video that you can link to this one too to show more information, that would be great. We would really love anything that you can share. So thanks for watching.